Hello and good morning. Welcome to Leave It Love. And in this one, I'm going to talk about the court case. My court case, Paulina B Garcia versus the Bronx Supreme Courthouse, right? The Bronx Supreme Courthouse, comma, the Unified Court System, Index 1021-2024. It's March 1st will be 2 years since I filed this court document, right? I started working with the Bronx Supreme Courthouse in 2006. There was a program. With public assistance. And nobody wants to say, "Oh, I was on public assistance. I'm on public assistance." Nobody wants to say it. But it was a time I was on public assistance because I was married. And but I was a full-time student, so I didn't pay the bills. I was in college, I was in school, I was going for my bachelor's, and I just had to take care of the kids. I didn't pay bills. I couldn't take care of myself, put it like that, because I was married, so he did everything. That was the only good part. But I was the marriage fails. I think I got the job, and it was good for me to be married because they look at you different when you're married. So I was like, "Oh, I'm married," and they were like, "Oh, you're married." It was a good thing, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happily married. I was like, "Ugh, I hate this fucking." But you know what? I had to tell everyone that I'm married, even if I wasn't happy, and then it just made it seem like it's such a good thing to be married. So I stayed married, and I wasn't happy. You know Whatever. The marriage failed, and I'm working in the courthouse. He even said that they're never gonna hire me. He was just he just hated me. The ex hated me for whatever reason, and he just made everything ugh. It was some relief to get rid of him and to get my place. This place. I've been in this place since 2008. Since the divorce, I got the place. This is the place I had when I got divorced, and I got my own place, and I got the kids. Damn. And I stayed in the same. I've never moved out. The place is rent stabilized. What is it? It's earned income housing. It's I could pay the rent. No light, no gas. So it was just convenient. It worked out. He didn't like it because it was small. This apartment is tiny apartment, but it was affordable. I could afford it. I didn't need him. And then because I had a job, I paid for the divorce, but I got an attorney with the union. The union gave me an attorney. They have what is it? The DC 37. They have a legal team. If you need legal services, you can get an attorney. If you're paying your union dues and you're in a union, you can get an attorney. The union will pay for an attorney. That's how I had my divorce attorney. But I've been in this apartment since 08, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 2018 was 10 years. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 is 15 years. 24, 25, 26. It's going to be 18 years living in this apartment. I never moved. The most I ever got done in this apartment was painted. I didn't move. I didn't switch apartments. I've stayed in the same place. And it just worked out. The kids were stable. I'm stable. And it worked out. But it was because I worked in the courthouse. I'm working in the courthouse. That's how I got this apartment. I started working in the courthouse because I was having problems being married. I was having problems, and we broke up. But then we got back together because I couldn't take care of myself. Whatever. I got this apartment in 2008. I filed for divorce in 2009. I didn't want to be together. I wanted to get on my own place, and I wanted to get stable. I wanted to take care of myself and be able to take care of the kids. The divorce ended 2009. I went to Disneyland. I went to Disneyland. I was so happy. I went to Disneyland. I took the kids. I was happy. Disneyland. I went different places. I like to travel too, but it's because I have a job. You have a job, you could travel. You got time, you could travel and get paid for taking time off. So it was easy. It was easy for me anyway. But during the time of employment, is like I had to deal with the sabotage, the corruption, and then you gotta act like you don't know because you work there. You can't talk about the courthouse. It's like the sexual harassment was crazy. The way they treated people is crazy. And the Begin program, it was a program with public assistance. The Begin program helped a lot of people get jobs. It helped a lot of people get stable. It helped me get a stable job. Like, the courthouse is a stable job. I was stable. I quit because I didn't feel I was being treated fairly. And I just left for my own peace of mind, my own sanity. It's like, you can't treat me like this. And I'm 40 years old, and I'm like, I'm not gonna spend the rest of my life working in this job and these people are gonna treat me like this. And I resigned. The sexual harassment was crazy, and then it was like, it was allowed. They would allow the sexual harassment. They would know what's going on, and they wouldn't say anything. They would hide everything. And I'm just like, oh my God. The disrespect. They would disrespect you, treat you all kind of ways, and nobody would say anything. And I complained so many times. I went over the office. I would complain in office, and the in office would hide the document. They would sabotage the document. So then I started going to the union, and the union wouldn't do anything. So then I had to reach out to other sources. The Office of Court Administration. I had to go to the Inspector General's office. I went to a whole bunch of different places for somebody to help. And I even spoke to other judges for other people to help. But it's outside of my jurisdiction. That's what they would say. It's outside of my jurisdiction. I can't help you. And they're aware of the problem, but nobody would help. And it's unfortunate. It's just, for you to complain and for you to tell someone your story and for them not to listen to you. It's like the people that had to experience the sexual harassment and being treated unfairly, it was because we were in the program. We were in the Begin program. And they would treat us like we weren't people because we were on public assistance, or we were on, from a different program, and the courthouse wasn't paying us. It's public assistance that's paying us. So they were treated differently. They were treated like nothing. Like they could treat them any kind of way, not respect them, not respect anything, because they're not employees of the courthouse. And it was just crazy that people think like this. Instead of helping them and giving them opportunities, they would take advantage of the girls and make them feel all kind of ways. A lot of people that were hired, they quit on their own. Some people stayed, but a lot of people quit on their own. And a lot of people were fired too because, whatever was going on, they left. It's a messed up situation, but everything started. I came from the Begin program. Like, I can't deny that. Like, I came from a program, the Begin program, and it was an excellent program. Even though I can say the courthouse was mistreated the people that worked in the Begin program, other companies did it too. And that's why the Begin program, it no longer exists, because we weren't treated fairly. And it's a lot of people that can talk about it, and they can give their story. they can talk about it and it would just open your eyes to the way businesses and companies are and the way they treat their people. And it's like, you're not supposed to treat people like this. Like, you're supposed to treat them fairly, you know, give them a chance. You know, if we're coming to a job, it's because you want a chance. You know, you're there and you're working and you want to do a good job in the hopes of being hired, you know? And that's how it was. Like, oh, when a job comes, when a job opening comes, apply. Most likely they will hire you because you're there as a whatever. As a begin program. It was a program. It was sign-in sheets. I had to do sign-in sheets. I had to check in with the program like every week, you know? It was just, it was an experience. And then I had to sit there and I stayed. And then I had to be professional and proper and, you know, how the fuck you working in a courthouse? I was like, you know, I just worked in the courthouse. I didn't even tell people I worked in the courthouse because the place of business was so embarrassing to work for. You know, I should be proud to say I work for the courthouse. But it was embarrassing to say that I work for the courthouse, and I would see how they carry on and how they treat people. How they treat incoming people, even people coming in to do passports, coming in for regular things. The people are treated the people are treated different, and it's not fair. But you know, it's because of who you have in power. You have an immature person in power, you know, that doesn't know how to treat people, thinks that we're in elementary and high school. And I'm like, we're all adults here, you know. It was a relief to leave that courthouse. It was a relief. And I wish someone would read my file. It's 405 pages. I wrote everything down because I was always ignored. I'm like, you know, I'm complaining about things and I'm trying to get people to do something. Do something. Do something about this. Like all of the sexual harassment, all the way people were treated, the nepotism, the sabotage, the harassment. It's like, you know, and then I would complain and then they would retaliate against me. They would do things against me and make my work environment like the worst. It was just the worst experience. It was like the worst. And I was thankful to be able to get my apartment, get my place, get divorced, you know, get out of a bad situation. But I stayed in the job because I had to take care of my children. And it's like, but the job wasn't a good, I wasn't happy there. They never made me happy. They never acknowledged me. They never gave me a fair chance or an opportunity to do something else. It's like they kept me, like I was trapped there. I'm like, and every time I wanted to move and go somewhere and do something, they wouldn't let me do it. Or if I go to another department, then here they go, following me there, trying to tell the supervisor of that department to tell that person what to do with me. But that's not even her department. Like, you have no control up here, but you want to come up here, and you know, it was hell. And that's why I resigned. That is why I resigned. I resigned because of the treatment, the way I was treated. You know, Teresa Torres made my employment with the Bronx Supreme Courthouse unbearable. It was hard. And it was hard because of her. She made everything hard on purpose. And everybody applauded her. Everybody supported her. Everybody approved her behavior. And I'm just like, why is nobody helping me? Why is no one listening to me? Why is it like this? I was like, you know what? I don't need to be here. I need to quit. I resigned. And then they didn't even want me to quit. You can't quit. You have too much time. So pay me my time. And and let me leave. Oh, we're not going to pay you. You can't leave. I'm like, so I had to just take off, and let my time pay me pay me for taking time off. So I took time off until October. I think I stopped showing up. I stopped showing up to work, and then I was just paid from my time, and my time finished in October 14th. You won't get paid anymore, Miss Garcia. Word? Really? Okay. I'm coming in. I'm going to turn in my resignation papers. I didn't wait for October 19th, which was my anniversary for 15 years. I was like, oh, I hate this fucking job. I hate this fucking job. And I resigned. And it has been peaceful ever since. I don't have my body ailments. Like, my body was like this. My insides were like this. I'm like, what is going on? I went to all kind of doctors. Nothing's wrong with you. Your health is perfectly fine. You're a little obese. That's what they said. Because I'm a big girl. I'm not skinny. They was like, you're just big, but you're perfectly fine. Your health is normal. Your health is great. Nothing is wrong with you. You know? So, and then it's like I'm going through all these things with my body, but it's because they're doing spell work against me. But you can't prove the spell work. You go to I can't prove nothing because the doctor, everything comes up inconclusive. Nothing is wrong with you. You're healthy. You're healthy. You should be happy that you're healthy and nothing's wrong with you. I'm like, so what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And that's when I realized it's spell work, but you can't prove spell work. So I had to stay there and act like nothing's going on. Act like I don't know that they're doing spell work, but they're doing spell work. But I gotta act like I don't know. Cleansing is important to me. Cleansing is my daily routine. I've been doing this since before the courthouse. I've been taking care of my spirit. I've been lighting candles. I've been doing reversible candles. I've been doing all kinds of stuff just to get rid of this energy, you know? But the best thing that I did was resign, was quit, you know, because it doesn't feel good not to be respected, not to be acknowledged, and not to be heard. My case is 405 pages of complaints that's been filed with different titles, different people in places of power, and nobody helped me. I'm one person talking, but a lot of people were taken advantage of. A lot of people were mistreated and abused and treated unfairly because of Teresa Torres, you know? The sexual harassment charges, it was so big, I think the guy was fired. And he's like, he has so much dirt on Teresa Torres. Like, he has a lot of stuff to say about her, but then who can he tell? Because everybody is covering and hiding everything for this woman. His name is Aurelio, and he was terminated. He lost his job because of her. And then they blamed him for everything, but it was Teresa Torres that did everything. But she blamed him and made him look like the worst kind of person ever, but everything was Teresa Torres. And before he left, he's like, I got so much dirt on her and he just didn't know like who to go to, because he never came out with the dirt that he has on her. I'm like, if he was to come out with all the dirt that he has on her, you know, it's over for her. But it's like, who can you tell when nobody listens to you? Nobody listens to you and you have a story to tell. Like, everybody has a story to tell. All these girls that were abused, you know, have a story to tell, you know, but nobody wants to hear you. It's a big deal, you know, it's a big deal. And I'm like, you know, they're gonna hear me. Like, somebody has to hear what the hell I'm talking about. Somebody's gonna answer to this court case. Paulina Garcia versus the Bronx Supreme Courthouse. I am suing the courthouse for all of the injustices that I've had to endure throughout my time of employment and even beforehand. And it all started when I started the Begin program and I got hired to work in the courthouse from being in the Begin program. And I'm thankful for that program, and I was lucky, one of the lucky ones to get a job through that program, because the program did help a lot of people. But at the same time, a lot of the people that were in the program was taken advantage of, and that's why the program was discontinued. But it helped a lot of people too, and it's just unfortunate the way people are. Like, people are just fucked up human beings, and then you gotta act like they're so great and awesome, and they're evil, evil, wicked, and cruel, and then they want to be portrayed as a good person. And I'm like, you're evil. These people are evil. Leave with love. I just wanted to talk about the courthouse. Just talk about it, because I'm just like, I'm just talking about it. I just wanted to talk about it. Leave with love. Bye.